Hey, what is up everybody? Blaze for here and today for you guys another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be going ahead and going over the new character, which is Summer Tomoko, and pretty much just getting a gist of what she ends up doing. If you guys are interested in this, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. And as always, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It really does help me out quite a lot here. We're going to continue trucking on to the 16K mark. Now today, I will be doing another stream, but this stream is going to be for Genshin Squadra. If you want to check that out, be sure to check out my Twitch. I'll make sure I have it inside the comment section just in case some of you guys really want to see what we do, as well as other games I played besides Persona 5X. So of course, we're going to check that out later on, but let's get straight into the video. So we're currently in the first half of the summer update where we have all these lovely events as always, and we had the release of Summer Tomoko. Now this is just for part 1, and this is going to be a part 2 type deal coming up very soon with the release of Summer Tomoko, who is going to be a healer based character. Now we already see how at least Closer does work, but we want to figure out exactly how Tomoko works in her specific teams. So what better way to know this other than checking out the website lafel.net here. This character, if you guys can see her on my screen immediately, can help out on different things such as EHR or elemental accuracy, as well as damage taken, HP up, defense reduction, and follow-up attacks. After, of course, you do any certain attack and she has a certain amount of stacks of these fireworks, she then launches that set of fireworks, which does a follow-up attack, and this allows her to deal some healing while also dealing some damage. The character herself isn't really meant on damage markers though, so don't try to really make her into a DPS. But if you really have to, such as for like Velvet Trials, and you just really want to try and clear some stuff on the side end, you very well can do so. The character herself though is mainly going to be just here for all the healing that you do need, and it's an ace in the hole for characters who need that elemental accuracy type beat. So any character such as like Haru, which is mainly the only character who does need EHR like that, is really going to love this character quite a lot. On the off chance that you don't have a healer, such as like you don't have Marion or a 5-star healer at all, this is also a good character to really be put in the fray because she helps you out with those buffs and do a little bit of attacking while also dealing some nice healing. But the real question is, how does she function? How does she really work? Well, going ahead and taking a look at her A0 first, which is Gorgeous Fireworks, the Summer Tomoko's skills can inflict a spark, which is the stack thing that I was talking about here. After any allies that use a skill, or if any of the enemies have 3 stacks of spark, she's then able to do a follow-up action, and for every 3 stacks of this said spark, once she removes it, she does damage. Now this damage is of course based on side damage, and this decreases their damage dealt by 19% for 1 whole turn, while also increasing your HP based on her attack percentage, which is always nice to see. After we remove all of these said sparks, she can do a follow-up action up to 5 whole times here, which will change based on the number of enemies that she does, and this will also change the amount of follow-up damage that she can deal. Follow-up action damage cannot reduce your enemy's down gauge, so that is an unfortunate part about it. So unfortunately you can't spam it with Rico, of course, but so whenever an enemy is defeated, she does give out the sparks to other enemies. This is something we're going to see quite often, seeing that a lot of these enemies now, they'll start transferring their elements or either their debuffs to the other enemies. We see something like this as well with Mesa, where he's able to trade his bleeds on over, and so we're able to see this with Tomoko a little bit earlier, where she now can trade over their sparks. No matter what happens here, as long as she gets those sparks on the enemy and this gives her more than enough, she is going to get that follow-up attack, dealing some decent damage, but also allowing her to heal up your team as well. But the thing that she doesn't only specify on, or at least specialize in, isn't only the healing. Her healing is just part of her real kit, but with her skill 1, she does allow you to at least deal some damage increases. So if we go ahead and take a look at this here, we have the Come Order a Drink. This one deals a certain amount of attack percentage based on her side damage, and it will prioritize the characters or the enemies that have not been at least attacked yet. By doing so, she increases the damage / healing multiplier of her Gorgeous Fireworks by 51%. This is actually a good skill here, but the only downside is for skill 1, you're not really going to be using all too often. It's usually going to be the skill 2 and the skill 3. Skill 2 being the Please Enjoy. This will usually heal 1 ally based on the amount of attack, and as well increase their attack percentage by 14.6%, and their EHR, which is the heavy part about at least Haru here, and this will give them a damage dealt increase by 30%. Now on the off chance you ended up getting, I think it was A1, I think it was, or A2, it will then turn into an AoE type move. Yes, right here, where we now have the Please Enjoy now heals all allies. So instead of it just being one person, it can actually be your entire team depending if you do get that A1, which is fairly darn nice. But the skill 3 here is what we're going to end up using quite a lot. So we have the Midnight Memory, and this will deal 61% attack based on her psi damage to all allies, but it also increases their damage taken by a nice 19.5%. This will give them a stack of spark, which of course every person that's hit will of course have 1 damage for that turn, and it counts downs at your start of the turn here. So as we continue going, it will continue counting down, and eventually after you get these said sparks here, it will trigger the follow-up attack, which is always nice to see. We're usually just going to use our skill 2, skill 3. There's nothing else that we really use with this character. I mean, the highlight herself, it's pretty darn decent, but it's morely focusing on the attack side. So I mean, like, it's not really a need for a lot of people. So if you really want to know exactly what you want to use and upgrade on this character, it's really just going to be the skill 2, skill 3. As for her passives, which is Dazzling, during battle she increases her side damage base and her max HP based on her own healing effect. So you will need a healing effect card on this as well, up to 42% of healing effect for 70% side damage and 2,100 max HP. So either way you see it, you're going to be getting yourself a nice amount of increased side damage, but you're also going to be helping out your max HP as long as you have a decent bit of healing effect, which if you go ahead and check the cards up here, you will have a decent bit of that. The Moon card is definitely going to need to be a healing effect card, because if you're using a 5-star weapon, she's going to give you of course a lot more healing. But if you're not using it, like most people, because her 5-star weapon is not a need, you are actually able to use this to your advantage, because you will have tons more healing while being able to still use the 4-star weapon, which is always great. Now, if we go ahead and check out the second passive, which is Eye Catching, whenever we do use Please Enjoy, which is her main skill function being the skill 2, she increases the max target, or the main target's max HP by 1800 for 2 whole turns, and then she will then restore 60% of the skill healing to the lowest HP ally. So technically she is still healing another person, it's just not going to be directly. So she does have of course her offset healing, which is always nice to see. If you guys want to check out some of the base stats, this was recently added on lafel.net. Once again, thank you to those guys working on the website right now. But this is mainly from A0 all the way to A6, being all the way with level 80 as well. So you can check that out if you really want to. Now, as I did say before, the exclusive weapon really is not needed. You have Darling Marbly here, which is pretty darn decent. It helps out with the healing effect being 22% here, as well as allowing her Gorgeous Fireworks healing and skill multiplier to be increased. This is always nice because she ends up getting the increased damage taken to foes whenever they are hit by Gorgeous Fireworks, which will be able to be procced as long as we're getting those sparks. So no matter what, you are going to get that nice increased damage, as well as that skill multiplier and healing, as long as you're able to proc off these sparks, which is easy as crap to do. But the issue with this 5-star weapon is it isn't really too needed, because the healing effect, all as good as it is, we really only need attack for this character, and then just small effects or small healing effects based on just the 4-star weapon and her cards, which is going to be covered by the Tidal Whisper. Tidal Whisper gives a decent bit of base stats in general, but it also gives her that 24% of attack that she does need in order to give off more healing. And then alongside of this, she gets an increased healing effect by 24.8% after she does trigger Gorgeous Fireworks for 2 whole turns. So even if you don't go for the 5-star weapon, she's still getting that kind of exclusive buff for her Gorgeous Fireworks, aka the sparks that we end up triggering later on all the time. So you're really not going to be missing out on anything if you just go ahead and go for the 4-star weapon, which is what I do recommend. But overall, if you guys want my actual opinions on this character, she is a good character if you really do need a 5-star healer. If you are pulling for Haru, you definitely want to go ahead and go for her here. And the things that you really want to look out for is going to be upgrading to skill 3, skill 1, going ahead and just sticking with A0. She's perfectly fine to do so. The max I would say if you wanted to go for this character even further is the A1, because then you get the extra debuff that you're able to have while also getting that AoE heal. And then when it comes down to everything else with the weapon, just get the 4-star weapon. I think that's more than enough. There's no need to get anything else. But with all of that out of the way here, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please do smack that like button beforehand and consider subscribing if you are new. I do daily P5X content on the channel, and we're only going to continue doing more. But hey, got a few more days to wait and we're going to enjoy it. But I need to get at least working on the guides. So peace out, everybody.